No, dude, you're not getting it.
No, dude, I just don't care.
Well, too bad. We're gonna go over it again until you understand that something shady's going on here.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you've got the aging core or aged out core.
Sure.
You spent to the cap, but you're not very competitive.
Competitive enough to beat you.
Yes or no?
Yeah, okay, fine, yes.
We're both considered hard-nosed, blue-collar cities.
Hell yeah, we are.
We both wear black and gold.
No, I'm black and gold. You're some copycat loser who didn't like his baby blue color scheme, so you started stealing my due.
That was 45 years ago. Get over it.
I'm not going to.
Regardless, it's a conspiracy, man. We've spent the money, we've taken the steps, and either way, the results just aren't there. What does that tell you? It tells me that you both suck. Seriously? You're just gonna take that?
I think he makes a good point. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub! That's right. That's right. We got a dub. We won a game in regulation. How about that, right? That's pretty neat, right? Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Discord, check it out. Link below. High quality inspectors. You guys are the bull's balls, the bee's knees, the jam. I'm running out of words here. This was a game that actually stayed very consistent with classic Bruins style, except for they like to change it up once in a while and get a little dub in there. So it was an interesting one for sure. But anyone who watched that live was like, oh, we're doing this again in the last 5 minutes, right? Like, there's no way, right? There's no way you felt otherwise. Yikes. Yikes. The Penguins, a scarily similar team to the Bruins in a way. They're the 8th ranked power play and 18th ranked penalty kill. 20th in goals scored per game and 31st in goals allowed per game. The Penguins and the Bruins are eerily similar in the way that they have reached their exit point of competitive hockey in a sense, because the core that they previously had aged out, the Bruins mostly aged out, or is currently aging out for the Penguins. Neither team has a great prospect pool. They're just hitting that point, right? Every team, every franchise goes through this. The Bruins had this weird dip but come right back, so the Bruins have been able to push that off for as long as possible. So the Penguins, really, because as long as you have Crosby and Malkin and Letang, like, you're competitive until they're almost 40 years old. That makes sense. So very similar. I'd argue I'd still rather be the Bruins just because we have a few great players who are still in their prime right now. It's just that's their next wave, and you're hoping to supplement the roster for that next wave. One major difference is we have the opposite issues of what's actually cratering us this season. Their special teams are solid. Obviously, more so their power play, which is top 10. But their 5-on-5 is brutal. Imagine the Boston Bruins with a top 10 power play this season. I mean, I do not think it's far-fetched to say at the very least we would be talking about how we are preparing for the playoffs right now. I think you would assume we'd be, at worst, first wild card spot if this team had a top 10 power play. I mean, this power play has been so unbelievably bad. We rank right now, what are we, 30th on the power play? It's got to be something like that, right? You love how I just don't edit this stuff out anymore. I'm just like, we're just going to go take a look. We can take a look together. 29th! Nice! Not 30th. That's, yeah. You increase that up to 8th or 9th. Yeah, the team gets a lot better. Gets a lot better. So there's that. The Penguins goaltending, and this is not me dunking on them because the Bruins goaltending hasn't been that great either, but the Penguins goaltending has been an abject disaster. Because Jari's contract is awful. It's just an awful contract. I honestly was part of the camp that thought he would bounce back, mostly because I just kept putting him on my fantasy teams and hoping. He's not. He's not. They have Nedeljkovic and Blomqvist has shown real promise at sections of this season, but neither one are able to raise the bar, each sitting at around an .890 save percentage on the season. And like I said, the Bruins netminders are not much better. Better than that, but not much better. The Bruins lineup is going to be Geeky, Zacha, Pasta, Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle, Merkulov, Patra, Kepke, Veal, Beecher, Kostelik, Zadorov, Carlo, Lori, Peak, Wotherspoon, Mitchell, and then Korpisalo in net. So Korpisalo starts. He hasn't started in a while, so definitely want to give him some grace there. He's had one game over the past 7 in which he started that he had a save percentage above an .895. That is not great. Now, one game was a shutout, so you gave him that, and he was fantastic in this game. But for the most part, Korpisalo, we remember he started the season well when Swayman was still figuring his stuff out. Korpisalo has not had a great year. He has not had a great year. He is what we thought he was, unfortunately. But this feels like a really weird time to insult the guy because the guy was great in this game. And he's also going huge stretches between games and everything, which isn't fully fair either. I want to give him some excuses in there. I have this note here. A loss for the Bruins puts them in the bottom 10 of the league. If you're a draft watcher, that's your silver lining. Because we won this game, I don't know why I'm bringing that up, because now it feels like I'm just, pushing buttons or stabbing those who are rooting for a loss. Not that I really agree with that. I'm always trying to root for the team to do well, but I also get hey, I want the team to lose so I can get a better draft pick. There's a weird line to walk in there. But I guess pointing that out just kind of makes me a jerk. So maybe I'll just move on. The injuries, of course, Hampus, Charlie McAvoy, and Frederick all still out. Boston has recalled Merkulov, Veal, each a forward, and Mitchell up to the team. It was weird. The only thing weird about this, so Wahlstrom and Tufte get waived. They get sent back down, which is fine, right? I don't care about that. Michael Callahan, who wasn't terrible, gets reassigned. I'm just bummed for the guy. I don't think he's a game changer at the NHL level, but that guy has worked really hard for chances in the NHL, and it's just not working out for him. And I was surprised they would rather have Mitchell than Callahan, but Callahan has largely been playing the left side for us, I believe, so maybe they just wanted to get someone over to the right, which Mitchell typically does. But let's talk about this game a little bit. It was a great game. Puck drops. 132 in. Because the Bruins are just doing this now. It's a standard breakout. From our zone. And Grizz decides to try to make a play on the puck and ends up just getting caught way too high. So the Bruins are gifted a free 2-on-1. I know you all remember Grizz. I swear he was really good for a long time, except for his last year with Boston, and apparently this year with the Penguins. So Zacha, recognizing that, receives a pass and just goes, oh, Grizz just gave up his side of the ice. Let me chuck it to Pasta, who now has a free breakaway on a standard breakout play by the Bruins. There's times when you earn breakaways or it's a 50-50 puck and that it just goes your way. And then there's times where the other team has made a mistake. This was the Penguins making a mistake. And, Pasta makes no mistake on this breakaway. He dekes to his backhand. Ned commits. He comes right back to the forehand and dunks it. 1-0. Great way to start the game. I know how we all felt, but we were still happy to root on that it's now 17 games straight for Pasta getting a point. He has 19 goals in his last 21 games. Somebody drug test him. 5:08 in, Malkin for hooking. We're going to the power play. And then 47 seconds into the power play, Marchand takes an awkward hit from Joseph into the boards. He stays head down on the ice for a few minutes with the trainer before he's actually helped off the ice down the tunnel. And he would not return. They said it was questionable for him to return, which I guess is good if you're kind of ooh, I hope it's not a long-term injury or anything. But nothing about that looked questionable at all. If you stay on the ice with your head down for that long, I don't know. I don't think you should return regardless. So they made no call on the play. The linesman talked to it and they decided on no call. No penalty for the Penguins here. At the time, I agreed. I was like, okay, this is an awkward hit. Marchand turns a little bit. It doesn't look like there's full force there. It doesn't look like boarding exactly. Like, yes, it's in the back, but... And and then I kept seeing all these opinions from people who are better hockey minds than my own that were like, that is absolutely a penalty. And it wasn't until I saw the angle where Joseph, who hit him, actually gets Marchand's foot with his stick and causes the spreading of the legs that led to Marchand going down, which I had thought he was just trying to take it wide to keep his stance and not get forced off the puck. So with that, I'm kind of like, okay, probably should have been a call there. Joseph would regret that play. We'll get there. But we're going to continue with the power play. And about 20 seconds left of it, Pasta garnering a ton of attention at the top of the right circle. Two of the power play killers up high with him. He just sends us right down to Zako, who's by the net at that goal line. As the forwards try to come back and recover, he's got a perfect diagonal outlet directly up to Lohrei, who's on the left side of that slot. Great pass. Lohrei takes a stride in, picks his spot. Sniper-unia, jeez! Post and in. Mason Lohrei, what a way he's stepped up. He has improved this power play. Like, going into next season, whether Lohrei is considered a top 4 defenseman or not for this team, he better be quarterback in a power play. I mean, with Hampus coming back, he might still be the second power play unit, but over McAvoy, it seems pretty obvious at this point that he is improving that power play. Anyway, we'll move on. And probably just because it's not because he's better than McAvoy. It's because he's not afraid to shoot, which McAvoy never wants to shoot. You ever notice that Peak shoots a lot? Peak shoots a lot for a guy who doesn't have a great shot. I find that weird. Peak shoots the puck a lot. Let's talk about this game. Let's move on. It's 2-0. That's a power play goal. 8:01 into the period. Kostelic and Veal are going to go for unsportsmanlike and roughing. And then Crosby is going to go for slashing. So we're going to go to the penalty kill. There's just a scrum that happened, and it's fine, whatever. 1:02 left of that penalty kill. Beecher is skating down the left wall and has a 2-on-1, a shorthanded 2-on-1. Malkin's the defender. I don't remember the Bruin on the far side of him. And he's a little farther behind than the other Bruin. But he opts to pass super early in the neutral zone, allowing Malkin to easily pick it off. And then Malkin's, as he jumps in to pick this off, trips over the other Bruin. I hated this call because it's fine. We're going 5v3. It's fine. It just, for me, didn't make sense to make this call because Malkin initiated all the contact that happened there by jumping in to intercept the puck. It's fine. 5-on-3. We're going to 5-on-3. Beecher, what was that pass? First of all, stop doing that. We're going to 5-on-3 for 1:02, and we kill it, and then we kill the ensuing remaining 58 seconds of the 5-on-4. The penalty kill comes up huge in this first period. Just massive. 6:55 left. Joseph is getting hunted. He's been getting hunted. It's not anything illegal. It's just every time he touched the puck, someone came in to lay a hit. And, unsurprisingly, he catches up to a puck and hits the brakes. And as he turns, he witnesses the absolute horror that is Kostelic when he is a green light. And because I'm sure Zadorov and Kostelic both were given the like, hey, that guy took out our captain. I don't give a shit if you think it's legal or not. Do something about it. And so that's a green light. Kostelic's not worried about this hit being late. He's not. If that puck had gotten out sooner, I think the hit still happens. Let's be honest. I'm not condoning for a guy to get injured, but that probably still happens. Well, it didn't matter. Puck was still there, and Kostelic's like grinning as he just goes right through Joseph. Poor guy. He is going to leave the game with an upper body injury. He also would not return. I obviously hope the best for both of these players. I do not think either of them intentionally were injured. I don't think Kostelic meant to actually knock him out of the game, more so to, make some contact, make him regret the hit he laid earlier. I'm not condoning injuries is what I'm getting at. 1:27 left. Zadorov goes for slashing. We're going to the penalty kill. Every Bruins fan knew that they were scoring with 1:30 left of the first period, in a period that you're up 2 goals. They didn't, though. We killed it. And we start the second period with 33 seconds on the penalty kill. We kill that too. You love to see it. 9:48 into the second. Beecher's going to go for tripping to the penalty kill. And The best chance of that power play for the Pens, I get to reverse it. You know how I do this with the Bruins? Well, this time, Grizz fumble fudges a puck, allowing Koepke to snag it and head in on the breakaway. Saves made, high blocker, but look at us with a little shorthanded action. Love to see it. 2 minutes left of the period, a 2-on-1. Lindholm on the right side of the slot opts to pass to Merkulov, who's on the left, and he sends it right back after faking the shot. It's a great defensive play. I kind of would have preferred Merk just shoot, especially like, dude, that's one of your best attributes. You want to stay up here, shoot that puck. It gets broken up. No shot actually gets taken. We're going to the third period. We have a 2-goal lead. If a 2-goal lead in the third period, you should win that game. But as a Bruins fan, luckily we were playing the Penguins, so, I mean, I was fairly confident in this one. 3:38 in, Koepke with another steal and a strong pass leads to a Pasternak breakaway where he is taken down by Erik Karlsson. I actually didn't get a good view of this. I don't know if it's a good call or not. Penalty shot. Really smooth handle. He goes to the backhand, hoping that Ned remembers the breakaway and he's not going to commit hard. He commits hard and he makes the save. So it's fine. We move on with the 2-goal lead. 4:49 left. 4:49 in. Kostelic for roughing. We're going to the penalty kill. We killed that too. The penalty kill was brilliant. It really was. Zadorov and Carlo, one of their best special teams games of the year. Maybe the best special teams game of the year for those two. 7:31 left. Carlo is going to get cross-checked in the back, and he's going to go right into the post, and it looks nasty, and Lazat's going to go for cross-checking, and we're going to go to the power play. And we knew what was going to happen here, unfortunately. About a minute and a half into the power play, the puck is wrapped around the boards. I can't tell if Pasta was trying to force this back up the boards on the left wall, or if he was trying to tip it back to Wotherspoon. Regardless, the puck gets pushed out to the neutral zone down that right wall, and Hayes has a chance to just fly by everyone and go get it. What is really frustrating about this, Wotherspoon and Mitchell were out here for the power play as a way for Sacco to say, hey, we need to be responsible with this lead. I don't care that much about scoring. I don't agree with going into a shell, but given what the power play has done this year and how they give up shorthanded goals all the time, I get it. Put 2 defensemen out. Wotherspoon chases Kevin Hayes. So does Mitchell. And so when Hayes gets down to the bottom-ish of the right circle, he slams on the brakes. He has Mitchell and Wotherspoon right there. Bavelier has no one in the middle of the slot. That's a pass. That's a shot. Glove side. Short-handed goal. It is 2-1. And you still got like 6 minutes left. Yeah, it's just awful, man. That's just awful. 1:34 left. Koepke is going to go for high sticking on Raquel. It's a 4-minute double minor. Koepke was great in this game. That one play is really damning for him, but he was awesome the rest of the game. Coyle gets a shorthanded empty netter from 120 feet, 40 seconds left. It's 3-1. I started to write my end of game notes. And, 21 seconds left. Zadorov gets his stick lifted. Rust skates from behind the goal line up into the slot, making a nice little move around Carlo, but loses the puck in the process. Zacha gets there to the puck first, but can't seem to settle. And Raquel comes in. By the way, he's on my fantasy team. He just slams his past Corpusalo. It's 3-2 with 20 seconds left. And I paused making my end of game notes. Because 21 seconds isn't a lot of time. Depending on the activity, obviously. But it is enough time. It is enough. The final would be 3-2, though. We do come out of it. Game notes. Maybe Carlo's best game of the season. Seriously. Like, he was just defensively impactful the entire game. And I know he was on the ice for that late second goal by the Penguins, but this was just a massive game for him. I know there's a high likelihood of him getting traded at the deadline, but it's nice to see him, return to form a little bit, even if it's just for a game. It's been a really rough year for the guy. I've been a huge Carlo guy for a long time. It's just really tough to watch him struggle, and this was a great game. It was a great game by him. Really, really awesome. Every facet. Just really impressed. Merkulov, I think he's earned more looks. I thought his game was fine. He had some vision, had some nice passes. Largely benched later in the game. Didn't get a lot of shifts late in the game. But he's also not like a big defensive body, and Sacco was clearly going into a shell, which is exactly what I was hoping they wouldn't do in the third period. But so that kind of makes sense. But I thought he really had some nice vision, nice creativity, and he had a pretty active stick defensively, honestly. I thought he was pretty solid. So definitely worthwhile to keep him up just in general. He's been your leading AHL scorer for 3 years straight. This season is maybe over, maybe not. We'll see. But leave the guy in. Like, reward him for what he's done so far. Korpisalo, fantastic. Again, he's had his struggles this year, but like, this was a really, really great game, and hopefully one that he can build on. I do expect the Bruins to move more towards a tandem later in this season, just because, I mean, there's no reason to put a lot of mileage on Swayman, especially when he's struggling as he is anyway. And then lastly, and the most important one, of course, is Marchand's injury. The season just sucks, and hopefully this is another one where it's like, looked really bad in the moment, needed help down the tunnel, but probably just, rung his bell a little bit. He just needs some time. I don't know, but I doubt he'll be available tomorrow. That would be a stretch to say. Damn, though, just can't seem to win anything right now. But we won this game. That's huge. Go Bees. Go Bees! And of course, here at the end of the video, I love to give some shout outs to the fantastic high quality inspectors who help support the channel and keep this running. I super appreciate every single one of you, from the role player tier, the top line tier, and of course the all-star tier. We are going to do our shout outs for this top line tier. Thank you so much to Sean Kreider, Michael Kamara, Chris and Erica, Kevin Timperley, Quackin' Platypus, JM, Negev79, Lola Cattingsworth, EKM Productions, Moonlighter TV, Big Bad Bruin, The Bugman, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Kreutz, Brock Nope, Han Slobo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. Your top line material. But now we got to move on to our all-star tier members, the absolute legends. We have Jacob Pratt, Jake Brower, Dampen, JG's 12, Mark S., Ann Hustis, Lorenzo Wood, Penny Pasta, Levi Catalani, Boston Stringler, Bagel, Nightmare Eco, John Kirk, Joel, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Bruin Smash, D.A. Kingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Dutes42, and Jeremy. Thank you all for all of the support and love that you are all giving. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, Go Bees!